Have you ever wondered where the rich tapestry of European cultures and peoples truly originates? What if I told you that the answer lies within an ancient text, a story that intertwines with the very foundations of humanity? In the next few moments, we will embark on a journey that explores the biblical narrative, revealing how the origins of Europeans can be traced back to a divine plan that encompasses not just our shared ancestry, but also the incredible diversity we see today. Brace yourself as we delve deep into this fascinating history. According to the Bible, the story begins in the book of Genesis, where God creates the first humans, Adam and Eve. This narrative is crucial for understanding the common roots of all humanity. Genesis 1:26-27 states, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness." This profound declaration not only emphasizes that we are all created in God's image, but also establishes the inherent value and dignity of every person, regardless of race or background. Imagine a world where every individual, every culture, and every nation shares this foundational bond. The unity of humanity is a theme that echoes throughout the scriptures, reinforcing the idea that we are all part of a grand design. As the narrative unfolds, humanity faces a pivotal moment, the Great Flood. This cataclysmic event, as described in Genesis, reshapes the world and resets the course of human history. The flood wipes out all but Noah and his family, symbolizing a fresh start for humanity. Genesis 7:23 tells us, "He destroyed all living things. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive." From Noah emerged three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These three men are the progenitors of all nations, marking the beginnings of diverse cultures. After the floodwaters recede, Genesis 9:18-19 states, "Now the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And from these, the whole earth was populated." Now, imagine if you could tap into life-changing secrets for attracting wealth as effortlessly as possible. Today, there's a powerful, shocking discovery made by a rogue NASA scientist that reveals hidden wealth secrets, and it's just a click away. To dive into this opportunity, check the link in the comments below. But for now, let's continue our exploration of these fascinating origins. This passage is significant because it reveals that the myriad populations around the globe descend from these three families. Each lineage adapted to their specific environments, leading to the variations in language, culture, and physical traits we observe today. This diversification is not random, but rather part of a divine plan, orchestrated by God Himself. The descendants of Shem settled predominantly in the Middle East and parts of Asia, while Ham's lineage spread into Africa and other regions. Japheth's descendants, however, ventured into Europe and parts of Asia, laying the groundwork for the rich cultural and ethnic diversity we witness in these areas today. Focusing on Japheth, we uncover that his descendants played a crucial role in shaping the foundation of early European civilizations. According to Genesis 10:2-5, Japheth's sons include Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. Each son founded distinct groups and communities, each contributing unique cultural, linguistic, and societal elements to the various regions they eventually inhabited. For instance, Gomer's descendants are commonly linked to the Scythians, a nomadic warrior people known for their exceptional horsemanship, who settled around the Black Sea. The Scythians were renowned for their warrior culture, often adopting advanced combat techniques that involved both mounted archery and close combat, skills which influenced the military practices of neighboring tribes. Through their interactions, trade, and battles, they left a significant mark on the ancient cultures they encountered, embedding elements of their fierce and independent spirit. Magog's lineage is also associated with the Scythians, with particular emphasis on their mastery of horseback riding and archery. Their expertise enabled them to travel vast distances, spread their influence, and establish formidable networks across Eurasia. The impact of Magog's descendants extended beyond their skill in warfare. They brought distinct social customs, artistic styles, and spiritual practices that would permeate the regions they roamed and influence those who later settled in their wake. Medes' lineage is often associated with the Medes, a significant ancient Iranian people. The Medes contributed to the eventual rise of the Persian Empire, a civilization known for its monumental architecture, advancements in governance, and its role as a cultural bridge between East and West. The Medes' influence continued to resonate through centuries, as their strategic position allowed for exchanges of knowledge, art, and religious practices that further enriched the tapestry of early European civilization. Turning to Japheth's son Javan, we see an ancestral connection to the ancient Greeks, specifically the Ionians. The Greeks, particularly the Ionians, would go on to shape Western civilization in remarkable ways. Philosophy, democracy, arts, and sciences flourished under their influence. Cities like Athens and Sparta became hubs of intellectual pursuit, political thought, and artistic expression, setting a foundation that would reverberate across Europe and beyond for millennia. Javan's descendants, through their achievements, left an indelible legacy on Western thought and governance that is still studied and admired today. Similarly, Tubal and Meshech are often connected to groups that settled around the Caucasus Mountains and Anatolia. This region became an essential hub for trade and cultural exchange, fostering interactions with both Eastern and Western civilizations. The descendants of Tubal and Meshech contributed to the early ethnic and cultural diversity of Europe, incorporating a rich blend of languages, customs, and artistic traditions that helped shape the unique characteristics of early European societies. Finally, Tiras is sometimes associated with the Thracians, a group that left their mark through vibrant artistic traditions and warrior culture, particularly in the areas surrounding the Balkans. The Thracians' unique approach to art, music, and religious practice added yet another dimension to the cultural mosaic of Europe, leaving behind artifacts and myths that continue to intrigue historians and archaeologists today. Moving further, we connect Medes' descendants with the Medes and ancient Iranian peoples, who played pivotal roles in the establishment of the Persian Empire. The legacy of Javan's lineage is particularly intriguing. It is often linked to the ancient Greeks, specifically the Ionians, who were integral to the development of Western civilization. The Greeks contributed immensely to philosophy, democracy, and the arts, with cities like Athens and Sparta becoming epicenters of culture and learning. As these diverse groups settled and spread throughout Europe and Asia, they engaged in trade, warfare, and cultural exchanges that significantly shaped their societies. Tubal and Meek are often associated with ancient peoples who occupied the regions of the modern-day Caucasus Mountains and Anatolia, areas that were critical in early European trade networks and cultural interactions. The migration period, often referred to as the barbarian invasions, marks another significant chapter in this narrative. During late antiquity and early medieval times, various tribes descended from Japh, such as the Goths, Vandals, and Huns, moved across Europe. This movement led to the decline of the Western Roman Empire and the rise of new kingdoms and cultures. The migrations of these groups facilitated the exchange of ideas, technologies, and cultural practices that would shape the future of the continent. Another compelling story from the Bible is the account of the Tower of Babel, found in Genesis 11-1-9. This ancient narrative offers profound insights into the origin of different languages, the dispersion of peoples, and the divine plan that underpins human diversity. According to the text, there was a time when all humanity spoke a single language, lived in one place, and communicated effortlessly with each other. With this unity, they decided to construct a magnificent city and a towering structure, a grand symbol of their collective ambition that would reach the heavens. This tower would stand as a testament to human achievement, elevating their name and establishing their unity in a way that almost sought to rival divine creation itself. Their desire to build such a monumental structure represented more than just architectural ambition. It was an attempt to challenge the divine order by reaching a realm reserved for God alone. Humanity, gathered in one place, aspired to build a legacy of their own design, relying on human strength and ingenuity rather than divine guidance. The tower was not merely a physical structure, but a symbol of humanity's wish to assert control, to elevate themselves to a position of autonomy from their Creator. The Bible suggests that this pursuit carried a dangerous pride, a pride that clouded their reverence and trust in the wisdom of divine will. In response, God intervened decisively to prevent this unified yet misguided project. In His wisdom, He recognized that unchecked ambition could lead to greater corruption and disconnection from the divine purpose. To thwart their efforts, God introduced a diversity of languages among the people, transforming their single tongue into many. With this single act, God not only disrupted the construction of the tower, but also established the framework for linguistic and cultural diversity that would define human civilization. The confusion of languages had an immediate and profound effect on humanity. Suddenly unable to understand one another, the people faced the impossibility of continuing their unified work. Misunderstanding and frustration arose where there had once been seamless communication. The unity that had bound them together was now fragmented, and with it their ambitions to reach the heavens were abandoned. The people dispersed, migrating in various directions across the earth, carrying with them their newly developed languages, unique perspectives, and evolving cultures. This moment signifies more than just a scattering of people. It is a pivotal point in the human story, marking the beginning of linguistic diversity and the expansion of distinct cultural identities. By dispersing humanity, God encouraged people to inhabit and adapt to different parts of the world, fostering resilience and diversity as they developed distinct ways of life. Each group, adapting to new environments and climates, created customs, traditions, and languages that became defining aspects of their identities. From this dispersion arose a world rich in variety, a multitude of languages, cultures, and societies, each contributing a unique piece to the global mosaic of human experience. The story of the Tower of Babel invites us to consider the balance between unity and diversity. While unity brings strength, purpose, and a sense of shared identity, diversity brings resilience, creativity, and the capacity for humanity to thrive in every corner of the earth. The scattering of people and the emergence of multiple languages serve as a reminder of the intentionality in God's design for humanity. In a sense, this story illustrates that diversity itself is a divine gift, a way for each group to express its individuality while still reflecting the common image of God. Reflecting on the story of Babel, we can see the divine wisdom in both uniting and distinguishing human beings. When people come together, they achieve remarkable things, yet in the diversity of their expression lies the beauty of human civilization. This tale underscores the limitations of human ambition when it defies divine authority, but it also celebrates the origins of linguistic and cultural richness. In the scattering of people across the earth, God provided humanity with the opportunity to fill the world, to learn from and adapt to it, and to create a global tapestry of diverse traditions, languages, and perspectives. The story of Jacob, also known as Israel, adds another layer to our understanding of human origins, including those who might be considered the ancestors of white populations, linked to Japhet. Jacob's 12 sons became the patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Israel, initially settling in Canaan before migrating to Egypt due to famine. Their eventual return to Canaan established the foundation of the Israelite nation, which played a pivotal role in the ancient Near East. Although the Israelites primarily descend from Shem, their interactions with Japheth's descendants are notable. Through conquests and alliances, the Israelites frequently engaged with various peoples, including those descended from Japhet. The biblical narrative demonstrates that the descendants of Shem, Ham, and Japh did not exist in isolation. Instead, they often interacted, traded, and intermarried, creating a rich tapestry of shared heritage. For instance, during King David's reign, foreign mercenaries and allies from Japh's lineage joined the Israelite forces, indicating a blending of cultures. Moreover, periods of exile and return, particularly during the Babylonian and Assyrian conquests, brought the Israelites into contact with diverse groups, further enriching their genetic and cultural makeup. The descendants of Japh, who migrated into Europe, contributed to the lineage and cultural landscape of many European populations. Throughout history, environmental adaptation has played a significant role in shaping physical characteristics among human populations. Skin color, for instance, is largely determined by the amount of melanin produced in the skin. Populations in regions with high ultraviolet, UV radiation, like Africa, developed darker skin as a protective measure against the sun. Conversely, as some groups migrated to areas with less intense sunlight, such as Europe, lighter skin became advantageous for synthesizing vitamin D in conditions with limited sunlight. This evolutionary adaptation is viewed as part of God's providential plan, allowing humans to thrive in diverse environments. The descendants of Japh who settled in Europe experienced these environmental pressures, leading to distinct physical traits that reflect their new habitats. In addition to skin color, other physical traits, such as body shape and size, have also adapted to different climates. For instance, populations in colder regions often developed stockier builds to retain heat, while those in hotter climates evolved taller, leaner bodies to dissipate heat more effectively. These variations showcase the incredible ability of humanity to adapt and thrive in diverse habitats, all part of God's intentional design. The concept of divine providence is central to understanding the diversity of humanity. The Bible suggests that God has a purposeful plan for each aspect of creation, including the variations among people. Acts 17:26 captures this idea succinctly. He has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all the face of the earth. This verse reinforces that not only do we share a common origin, but God has also orchestrated our development across the globe. This perspective encourages us to view the differences among peoples as part of a divine tapestry, rather than mere coincidences or accidents of history. Recognizing this interconnectedness fosters unity and respect among different groups, highlighting that we are all part of God's creation. The New Testament further underscores this message of unity through diversity. The Day of Pentecost, as described in Acts 2, illustrates how people from various nations came together, each hearing the gospel in their own language. This event symbolizes the inclusivity of the Christian faith, breaking down barriers and emphasizing that the message of salvation transcends cultural and linguistic divides. Paul's letters consistently advocate for equality among believers, regardless of their background. In Galatians 3:28, he writes, "There is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." This affirmation of unity serves as a powerful reminder that in God's eyes, our differences are celebrated rather than seen as dividing factors. Understanding the biblical origins of human diversity encourages us to approach one another with respect and dignity. Each culture, language, and tradition carries intrinsic value and contributes to the global human experience. By embracing this diversity, we can work towards reconciliation and mutual understanding, fostering environments where everyone feels valued and respected. As we look to the future, we are reminded of the vision of a new creation described in Revelation 7-9, where people from every nation, tribe, and tongue stand before the throne of God. This powerful imagery illustrates God's ultimate plan, a diverse yet unified humanity worshiping together, celebrating the unique contributions of each culture. This vision encourages us to appreciate our differences as part of God's creative design, inviting us to participate in a future filled with hope, love, and unity. By recognizing our shared origins and the divine purpose behind our diversity, we can cultivate a spirit of harmony and connection that transcends geographical and cultural boundaries. In conclusion, the story of humanity, as told through the biblical narrative, reveals that we all share a common ancestry and purpose. The rich diversity found among Europeans and other peoples reflects God's intentional design and providence. As we embrace this truth, let us celebrate our differences while fostering unity, respect, and love for one another. Join us on this journey of discovery, and let's continue to explore the wonders of our shared heritage together. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going.